Breaking news, I have been single my whole life. Shocking, I know. But what really bothers me about this information is that in 8 years, Brian Griffin has managed to be with more women than me. However, in order to make myself feel better, I put it into the perspective of dog years, and it doesn't seem so bad. Bro is 56 years old and has only been with this many women? Rookie numbers. But I have to ask, why is it that almost all his exes have been white women? Now, some of you may point out that Brian Griffin is a racist, and I would 100% agree with you. However, he has dated a black woman before, but I think he approached the relationship in the same way that a slave master would see a slave and say, she's attractive, I'm gonna let her inside the house. Also, in the show, they never showed her kissing him or sleeping with him. But Brian Griffin currently has a 13-year-old child with a white woman. And please don't ask me how an 8-year-old can have a 13-year-old child. I am not paid enough to figure out the math behind this. Now, before I proceed with what this information entails, I'd like to again bring up the fact that Brian may be racist, but he did fall in love with another woman of color, an Indian woman to be exact. And guess what? What? That nigga flew 1,000 miles across the world just to get a peck on the cheek. Meanwhile, he had an intimate sexual relationship with a blonde woman for an entire season. And you could make the argument and say, oh, are you talking about Brian's ex-girlfriend Jillian? That's not fair. She didn't know any better. Because if she was in a math competition, the score would be really close if her opponent was a bowl of soup. But see, then we would have to call into question Brian's morality, because why would he date a 20-year-old who hasn't had a thought since the 1960s? And that's not what this video is about. What it is about is this ultimate question. What are the writers at Family Guy trying to say about white women? My first thought was, maybe they're trying to say something about real life. It's kind of like how you've never heard of a black kid shooting up a school in the same way that you've never heard of a black woman fucking a dog. But if I flip the coin based off of what I've seen in real life, if Brian was a horse, that nigga would have had more bitches than a dog pound. Matter of fact, I remember back in high school when niggas used to just show you shit like gore or sex videos in the middle of third period just for fun. Niggas would also just show me shit like a woman fucking a horse. And it was always who you would expect. But hold on. I'm not here to say that only white women are capable of doing this. But the writers of Family Guy are probably saying that. But I do want to finish off by pointing out a crazy relationship that he did have. I say this as if having a relationship with a dog in general isn't crazy, but I'm gonna just move forward. Now, there's this woman who has cancer. Brian feels bad and still beats the Doonies down that night. She then reveals to him that she has a sex bucket list, and she decides to fulfill all the things written on there with Brian. Now, when you look at her, she's not an ugly person. She could really just pull any guy that she wanted to, and yet decided that a dog was what was going to fill the hole in her heart, and obviously the hole down there. Now, me personally, right? If I were to go to a woman's house knowing we gon' fuck, and she opened up her booty hole and be like, all right, get to it then, I'ma leave. Because first of all, doing anal on the first date is insane. But second, sure, I'm getting what I want, but not how I want it. Meaning, she wanted any dick, including the dog's. And if that's how the writers at Family Guy want to portray white women, hey, do y'all. I'm pretty sure that most of the writers are white anyway. So I guess they know best. This is Future Campoleon here. I made a mistake. The only one of color that actually did sleep with Brian was a dog. And that makes her the only sane one to actually do so. Okay, Nguano, bye bye.